Hello and welcome to the Power Up Talk Show, a talk show where we bring together community leaders and inspirational people that are making a difference in our world. I am Sandy Spady, your host, and welcome to the journey. Before I introduce my amazing guest, we always like to start with the amazing Deion Bass with Songbird Cocktails. Hello, Deion.
Hey, Sandy, how's it going?
It's going great.
Well, you know, I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I like to open the door for ladies. I like to buy dinner, and so I thought I'd make an old-fashioned.
Yay, my favorite!
So we're going to start out with a well-sought-after Henry McKenna 10-year bottle and bonded. Now, this is a delicious whiskey. It has wonderful baking spices, vanilla, and oak. It is absolutely delicious and wonderful in an old-fashioned. Now, my next ingredient is going to be a demerara, but I'm going to use a gum-infused demerara, which means that it's going to have a lot more body. It is going to be delicious, and it is actually going to be kind of the star of the show. Now, our last two ingredients are bitters. I'm sure everyone who's watching the show now is familiar with bitters. First, we're going to use 2 dashes of Angostura, 1, 2. And then we are going to use 4 dashes of peach bitters. This is going to give us our flavor, our fruit forwardness. And it's going to set our old fashioned apart from what we can have in any restaurant or service industry bar. Lastly, we are going to stir this old fashioned. So normally I would shake to all my single ladies, but since I'm stirring, I think I'm going to do Horse with No Name by America. I don't know.
America.
All right, so we're going to give that about 35 revolutions of stirring. Now what we're actually doing is we're chilling our liquid, and while we're chilling our liquid, we're actually mixing everything into the glass. And lastly, we are going to pour our old fashioned into our glass with our nice orange peel, which has been zested over the ice. And we are going to enjoy our cocktail. I'm Deion with Songbird Cocktails. Sandy, you're always lovely.
I'm old-fashioned too, that's why we get along. Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Alrighty, let's cheers to the old-fashioned. Okay, let's see.
Ooh, that's nice.
Very nice. All right, audience, we're in for a treat. Dr. Kim Reid, very important lady here, lots of experience. She is a naturalist, pharmacist, wellness coach, passionate, very passionate about empowering people to maximize their energy through healthy habits to live a healthy lifestyle and giving them the tools to do so they live healthier life. Kim, welcome to the Power Up Show.
Sandy, thank you so much for having me.
Gosh, I've known you for a while, and now that you're on the show and I research you, you've done a lot of great things. Share with the audience your journey. You have a lot of great background.
Yes, thank you. Well, I've spent the last, 25 years in the healthcare industry on the Western medicine side, educating providers in various entities, mostly around diabetes, cardiovascular disease, in those spaces, and just helping them have all the knowledge they need to then care for their patients. And then over the course of all of that and watching this world really become a sick care nation, and my own personal journey of needing to implement some things into my life, things just, I had chronic back pain, I developed high blood pressure, I was stressed, I was depressed after having my daughter. All these things were just like imploding on me, and I thought, I've got to be doing something wrong here. What can I change? So over the last 10 years, I've spent my focus as a side passion really on my own journey, finding healthy habits and then paying that forward to other women initially online, in the online space. And now I've ventured into more group education, live, in person, opportunities to share with people simple things that they can implement daily. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's normalizing healthcare and normalizing healthy living and incorporating healthy habits so that you're not spending time taking care of your illness, you're spending time making wellness. So that's what I've been doing for the past 10 years, implementing some new tools that we'll talk about later, And it's just been an incredible journey using my pharmacist background. I'm also a massage therapist in a past life.
Wow.
So I have a holistic approach. I mention this often to people that I am probably the most anti-drug pharmacist you'll ever meet, because we don't have a medicine deficiency. We have micro and macronutrient deficiencies. We have energy, things that are pulling on our energies in the world, and we need to find ways to maximize that.
That's my next question. What does it mean to maximize your energy, right? That's something I've heard you talk about. Share with the audience. What does that mean?
Yes. So energy, we are energy. One of my 4 F's are faith, fitness, food, and frequency. We are energy. And so our bodies are taking on and bombarded by all sorts of things. So what we choose to do, what we choose to consume, whether it's scrolling on our phone or the relationships we keep or the type of stress that we take upon ourselves, or the foods that we consume, or the toxins in our house, all those things impact our energy. And so just like emotions, think of a scale or a ladder. At the bottom is a lower frequency, maybe 0. And as you go up, you have higher numbers. Illness and emotions, negative emotions, are down here. We want to raise our vibration, right? We want to raise our frequency. And dis-ease, some people call it disease or dis-ease, is down here. So what can we do to raise our frequency and raise our energy? And you can do that by avoiding toxins and all the things that I just talked about. Being mindful of what you're consuming, and not just putting in your mouth, but truly consuming in your community and in your home and everything, air, food, you name it. So you go through all these things and you think about, how can I maximize my energy? Instead of maybe focusing on, I have 24 hours in the day and my life is just being taken from me because I don't have a plan, or I let somebody else control my phone, my emails. What do you do in the first thing in the morning? Do you pick up your phone and you're immediately scrolling and you've got 20 inbox and you're like, and you're stressed, and now you're getting the kids ready for school and doing all the things out? You're not in control of your life. Your energy it's a downward spiral. You are stressed. You are living in fight or flight. We need to get out of fight or flight. We need to live in that parasympathetic mode, that rest and digest, to replenish. And that raises your vibration, and that makes you more energetic, more fulfilled, healthier. And so you have to implement key things in order to maximize your energy.
I feel like you might have a personal story, right? Because usually everyone, entrepreneur or business owner, has a story behind the story. What's your story behind the story?
I spent years as a single career woman, burning the candle at both ends, sleeping 2 or 3 hours a night, living out of a suitcase, traveling the world, and I had it all figured out, right? I was juggling all the balls and just give me more, it doesn't matter. That only worked for so long. I ended up being blessed with meeting my husband, getting married, and having a daughter. And I quickly realized late in life, having a daughter, that about a year into her life, I was winded and tired trying to chase her around as she's starting to walk and get mobile. And I didn't like the way I looked in the mirror. I was trying to, have quality time with my husband after she goes to bed, and then he goes to bed, and then I'm on my email till 1 a.m. and this vicious cycle. And I developed back pain. I developed high blood pressure over this time. And I just knew, living and working in the healthcare world, that I was not taking care of myself. So it was like one of those wake-up calls where I read a book called Extreme Ownership, chapter 12, page I don't know what, but a sentence popped out at me, and it was a chapter called Discipline Equals Freedom. And I knew, and it was literally about waking up. And I'm like, this is figuratively and literally, you have to wake up. And so I just one day woke up and said, this is it. I'd been telling myself for months, I got this, or I need to do something, and I just couldn't do it. And whatever reason, it just clicked, and I went all in, and I created a morning routine, started working out, started a nutrition plan, and in 9 months, it was not an easy button. In 9 months, I dropped 25 pounds, dropped 15 inches, I cut my blood pressure medicine in half, and I dropped my cholesterol 40 points. Those are some metabolic things that I can, just tangible things that I can share with you. But the one thing that my husband said to me when he saw my before and after, my side by sides, he said, you know, and I was kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, I know I'm getting better, and I still had some mental work, still had the mean girl inside talking all the nonsense to me. And he said, but look at that smile, Kim. Like he saw a new person.
Transformation.
And then I could pour into my daughter, and I could be the best mom that I could be, and the best wife, and the best daughter, and coworker, and you know, all of that. So I was able to have the power of full engagement through energy maximization principles that I learned way back in 2008 when I took a course on it, and I preached about it for so long, and then I just fell off, as we all do. So you got to come back, right? You come back, and nothing's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Every choice you make every day, it could be a bad one, and then the next one's a good one. You know, it's you kind of live the 80-20 rule, right? You have to have balance. So yeah, so that's my story.
Did you have help? I feel like you had help. I feel like a lot of times you have a fitness partner or you have a coach. Like, who helped you?
Yes.
What did you do?
Yes, I joined an online fitness group, and then I ultimately within 2 months became a coach myself. So I became an online wellness coach, and we had a small group of women where we could be vulnerable in a private social media platform where we could post our sweaty selfies, talk about the struggles of nutrition or the stress with our job or whatever. And it was a safe place for us to share. And every day we would rate at the end of our day, okay, let's reflect, let's self-reflect, talk about our hydration, our nutrition, our fitness, our sleep, and our mindset. Where are we at? Let's check in with each other. And I've done that for the last 10 years. And that was the game changer. I had to post it on social media to make myself accountable. Yep. And then I joined that group, and someone reached out to me. I was like, I'm ready to go. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna join. And within a month, I was like, okay, I'm paying this forward. We're doing this. And then I shared my transformation 9 months later. And even though it's physical transformation, I don't really like before and afters, but it gives people something to hang on to and go, oh, wow.
They see it.
I want that. And I've just lived that way. And it's just like the energy is radiating off of me. And I know that that is what I needed and what my family deserved and what God gave me. And by the grace of God, He got rid of my back pain. And I am just a new lease on life in the last 10 years, and I'm not looking back.
Now, is that a local, in person, and online, or is that online globally?
It was online globally, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you must have had a group where you worked out together.
We did. We only got together once a quarter, but you could do Zooms and you could get on together. And so we would, be on together, and we did Saturday workouts and things of that nature. So yes, any way that we could implement, mindset, fitness, nutrition, those were the key principles. A lot of fitness and nutrition was where it started, but it's so much more than that when you build community, right? And you're around like-minded people. You know, it empowers you, it lifts you up. You know that people, we're ready to make New Year's resolutions. It's almost January 1, and what happens by February? The gyms are slowed down. All the things. So how can we be realistic and take action? We have amazing goals, but we have to put systems in place so that we can reach those goals. And that's what I try to help people do.
And that's what's so amazing with Women with Voices. You saw a niche, a need, yes. You fill it. It's a community, it's a safe spot to be vulnerable, right? We tell stories, you share fitness. And then we have our summit, right? Live Your Why Summit. At the end, I purposely have it at the end of January. Because so many women get down on themselves when, like you said, they didn't start the diet, they didn't do their workout. And then a lot of people that could just niche the whole year.
Right.
So I purposely have it on the end of January.
Yep.
So you can restart, re-kick, and redo, right? That's what I love about that. As far as the community, is that something that is like a local woman started, or is it like a global community that is like a franchise type thing? Like, tell me more about your community.
The community was one. It was actually called Body. It was called Team Beachbody. They actually just dissolved their coaching platform.
Yeah.
So now we kind of are all out on our own. And so that's why I've pivoted a bit to focus on live group education and going through energy maximization principles beyond just using that platform. That's still an amazing library of a suite of every
workouts,
morning.
Right?
Yeah, workouts, but nutrition, recipes, mindset. There's a I spend 4 minutes a day. I pull an affirmation card and then a 4-minute video that is tied to that. That's a meditation. That is a guided meditation for 4 minutes on that specific I am card.
Nice.
And that's fun. But yeah, so now it's really using what I learned those few years to then launch into, because that really, that body platform was something that was tied directly to the energy maximization course I took way back in the day in 2008. And that's when I really got excited. But then I kind of walked away from it thinking that I was, I could do all the things and not sleep and not go to the gym, or go to the gym because I ate something. And it was just this weird, vicious, stupid guilt, not going to the gym because I loved myself, but going to the gym because I had that Reese's, or whatever. And so it was really a mindset shift in the last few years, and just realizing that, it wasn't just about me. You have to find your why, that,
absolutely.
You preach that and that's hard. And sometimes it takes 10 questions. I want to lose 20 pounds. Why? Well, because I can't chase my daughter around. Or why? Like, what? You have to keep digging deeper and deeper, because once the motivation wears off, if you don't have the discipline, you have to be consistent, or it won't become a lifestyle.
That's why every year our first summit was live your why, be you,
Yes.
live your why, look at me now, and now live your why, unstoppable. It's like a stepping right to success.
It is.
Tell us about some more tools that you do, that you give. I think that you have a physical tool, or
I do.
You put something on me. I was like, what was that? Like what? Yes.
I did. I should have brought one with me. I was gonna bring one to show. But yes, there's a patch system that I utilize, that I've used for the last couple of years. And the patch is really, so as I mentioned earlier, we are frequency and we are energy. We actually emit infrared. So let's back up a second. Think about if you go out into the sun, your body responds to that exposure to the sun, that ultraviolet light, by creating a biological process that then stimulates vitamin D production. Okay. So now you're inside, you're not ultraviolet, but we are infrared. When you apply this patch that is non-drug, it signals your body to reflect into the patch and then back into your body to heal and repair where needed.
Is it kind of like sunshine in a patch or something?
Well, sort of, but it's not just about vitamin D. It's truly about healing your cells and stimulating various peptides. Peptides are very popular right now. They're the building blocks and the foundation of our bodies. We have 32 trillion cells. Every cell is a lot of people's cells, unfortunately, because of all the toxins and everything that we have, look like a shriveled up raisin, like the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of every cell. They look like shriveled up raisins from the processed foods and the fragrances and the toxins and the this and the that and the air and the stress. And what we need to do is plump them back up like a grape. And what you can do is reduce those things. So my food and my fitness and my frequency are the other three arms. And so food, get rid of the refined sugars and all of the processed, spend time in the parameter shopping.
Yep, I remember that.
Of the store. Learn how to read a label and know what a healthy carb is, what a fiber-filled carb is. Get your fiber, that kind of thing. And then fitness. The movement is doesn't have to be hours at the gym. Oh no, I'll get a personal trainer once I have this extra money. No, just go walk 7,500 steps. It's saving your life. 7,500 steps a day.
Nice. I try to get 10 in because I have a lab that needs to walk 3 times a day.
Yes.
That's what they say. Walking is really good.
It is. It really is. It's like the new thing. Now you do want to build muscle. Muscle does equal longevity. But those types of things. And then the fourth one is frequency. And like I said, the patch is just an additional tool. So it's not the easy button. It's not the quick fix. But it really does, as our bodies, the main patch is one that activates copper peptide. And as I mentioned, peptides are very important. Peptides have been studied for years and years and years. And this one PhD studied copper peptide his entire career and realized that you could literally see age reversing. So there were fine lines and wrinkles, like collagen deposition and reduction of inflammation, and it helps with your circadian rhythm. And there's so many different things. And so this inventor took this patch and just took the science and said, well, let's see if our own body can do this. And so he has that reflective back. And what ends up happening is when you stimulate copper peptide, you then stimulate your stem cells. And stem cells are what deplete and is why we age. So that's why we start to get the achy knees and the slower to recovery and the soreness at the gym and the fine lines and wrinkles and the gray hair. And so it's really another wellness tool. It doesn't treat, prevent, cure any disease, but that dis-ease and that inflammation and everything that you're at down here, it can help you raise your frequency to live a healthier, younger self, and hopefully longer and younger too. So there's a lot of clinical trials that he's studying and sharing. It's a 20-year-old company that has been evolved through 3 generations of patches, and I'm kind of late to the party, but I'm loving what I'm seeing.
So is this something like a membership, or is it just a product like you can get on Amazon? Like, where do you find this product?
Yes.
Is it like through the Food and Drug Administration? Is it approved? Like, tell us more about the patch.
Sure. It is a cleared as a general wellness product with the FDA, but FDA typically is, monitoring drugs, and it is not a drug. So it's a non-transdermal. Nothing is transferring into the skin. Transdermal means you put on something and medicine goes into the body. It is a non-transdermal, but it does give a barrier in which our own light can reflect. So essentially you order it through a distributor like me, or, I do have some partnerships around town where, chiropractors and nurse practitioners and, in the functional medicine space, folks that are using and seeing a lot of patients, massage therapists maybe are seeing a lot of patients in pain, right? And that kind of thing. So there are various patches that stimulate different frequencies in the body to again raise that to a healthier state. So you don't want to order it on Amazon. You really want to order it directly through myself or someone that does that has a distribution pathway. So,
and how do you really know your energy, like your frequency? Like, I'm full of energy my entire life.
Yes.
But like, are we talking about, like, explain that part a little bit more.
Well, there are different studies that can be done. You can do you can get blood levels, to see how much copper peptide has increased in your body, and then A plus B typically equals C. But if you want to look at frequency, I could show you like a topography, like a brain scan, where they literally do like a scan, so to speak, of the brain, and you can see pre and post patching the difference. So you want all mostly green, and then you see this orange and red and blue and other, colors, and then you patch, and then these patients are then studied and their brains are scanned after that, and then you see, weeks later that now it's green. And so they all represent that level of frequency, and it's really that infrared. Wow. It's like on another level.
Mind-boggling.
It is. It's really unbelievable. It really is until people patch, and really I love to patch people. I love to just let people experience. Just patch someone out front, and they were like, "Oh, my head is tingling." Some people don't feel anything.
Yeah. I didn't feel anything.
Sometimes you don't feel anything, but that doesn't mean it's not working.
Yeah.
And it's also not something that, you can't take 50 years of who knows what, the stress and all the things, and put a patch on and expect there to be a one-day miracle. But I've seen it happen.
Is there a limit to how long you can patch?
You patch as long as you are benefiting, and as long as you want, just like supplements and other things. It's really one of those additional tools in your toolbox of your health and wellness. And the one patch is a general wellness. I patch with different things depending on the situation that's at hand. If I'm, feeling sick, I will patch with glutathione because that's our master antioxidant, fighting those free radicals. Or if I'm feeling like my immune system is a little bogged down or burdened or compromised, I will patch with glutathione. So again, another amino acid that is a tripeptide of 3 amino acids is glutathione. A lot of people hear that buzzword. You can go get them in an IV, that kind of thing. But a patch can increase it 300% in 24 hours.
Do you feel like your past history with the pharmaceutical industry helped you understand that better?
Oh, absolutely.
Could you explain it? That I understand it, but I think someone that maybe didn't have that background wouldn't have that upper ledge, really. I mean, because you explain it, and I think that those years of your experience play a big part of that.
Yes, and it's hard for me because sometimes I catch myself going, oh my gosh, quit using the big words. And I'm not trying to be condescending or anything. It's just like that's who I and how I talk every day. And I'm trying to keep it simple.
Yeah,
and keep it just it's energy. It truly is energy. And again, it's not believable until you try it. And then people are like, whoa, what is this? Kim, I need, and I get a phone call, a day later or whatnot, or just, people are looking for wellness and they're looking for tools to make sure that they might not be thinking of it as maximize my energy, but they just don't like the way they feel. Right. And people are also fighting the aging process too. And it doesn't have to be just because we're aging. I mean, there are ways that we can, the sick care industry that we're in, unfortunately, we're treating, as I said, we're giving people medications. I think, I can't remember the statistic, but older patients are on an average of 13 medications. Wow. I had someone tell me the other day at our meeting, I don't know which is the symptom and which is the side effect.
Katie,
And it's just frustrating. So, whatever I can do to share, pay it forward, give my expertise, try to drill it down and just say, what are you doing? How can I help you? Think about getting some steps in, parking at the end of the parking lot instead of circling for the closest spot. Even 15 minutes after each meal, getting protein in each meal. Just those key pieces.
Those are all
it's life-changing. They really can.
The knowledge is great. We have less than 20 seconds. So they can find you on social media, Dr. Kim Reid, right? I'm sure, and find your group.
Yes.
Thank you for being on the Power Up Talk Show. You enlightened me, acknowledged me.
Thank you.
All right, audience, if you want to feel better, get the patch. It sounds like it's amazing. And remember, every day is a choice. Healthy choice, bad choice. Your energy is your energy. But let's have good energy and take care of ourselves so we can continue on visiting my talk show. Everyone go make a difference in the world. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.